In the heart of the emerald canopy, where fireflies blink like floating stars and the wind sings lullabies to the trees, Ella the gentle elephant awoke to a soft rustle beneath the great banana tree. The morning sun poured golden light over the glade, dappling her silvery gray skin and warming her sleepy trunk. It had been many moons since the night of the moonflower, and the forest had returned to its calm, joyful rhythm. But today felt different. As Ella stretched and blinked at the golden sunrise, a flutter of teal feathers landed on her head. "Morning, Ella," chirped Cree, the cheerful kingfisher. "You won't believe it. The Lantern Festival is happening again." Ella's eyes widened with delight. The Lantern Festival was a rare and beautiful event, held only once every few years when the twin moons of Luma Lake rose together in the night sky. Animals from far and wide would gather to light lanterns and make wishes beneath their soft glow. "But Cree," Ella said gently, "the last time the lanterns floated over Luma Lake, I was just a calf. I barely remember it." Cree twirled Middy with excitement. "Then this will be your first real festival. But there's a tiny problem." Ella's ears perked up. "What kind of problem?" "The lanterns aren't glowing," Cree said, landing beside her. "They are just dull husks, no light at all. Even the oldest fireflies don't know why." Before Ella could answer, a rustling bush revealed Tico, the bouncing lemur, and Moji, the wise old turtle, both looking concerned. "Ella," Moji said slowly, "this isn't just about the lanterns. Something is changing at Luma Lake. The water's losing its shimmer, and the winds whisper warnings. We need to go. The forest needs you." Ella felt a tug in her heart. She had faced the bridge of whispers and followed the song of the moonflower, but this felt deeper, older, and more mysterious. She nodded. "Let's go to Luma Lake." And so the friends set out, Ella with her steady steps, Tico leaping from branch to branch, Cree flying overhead, and Moji plodding behind with silent wisdom. They passed through glens lined with bluegrass that hummed when the wind passed, crossed the spiral tree arch where moss grew in the shape of ancient animal symbols, and reached the edge of Luma Lake just as dusk began to settle. The lake was still and wide, its surface dark and silent. The twin moons had not yet risen, but their pale reflections shimmered beneath the ripples, waiting. Hundreds of animals gathered at the shore, their lanterns hanging from reeds and branches, but none of them glowed. "It's like the lake forgot how to shine," whispered a little fox kit nearby. Ella stepped forward and dipped her trunk into the lake. The water was cool but quiet, too quiet. The magic that once pulsed through it like a heartbeat was now only a whisper. Cree flew back with a scroll tied in golden thread. "Got this from the owls at the archive tree," he said. "It's old, really old, but it mentions something called the heart-like current. It says the lanterns only glow when the current is awakened." "What's the heart-like current?" Tico asked, tilting his head. Moji sighed. "It's a river beneath the lake, hidden deep in the caverns of Luma. It carries ancient magic, older than fireflies and starlight. If it sleeps, the lanterns will remain dark." Ella looked out at the still lake, then up at the rising moons. "Then we must go beneath the water," she said softly. "But Ella," said Cree, fluttering in alarm, "you're an elephant. You can't breathe underwater." Ella smiled gently. "No, but the lake knows me. and I trust it. As the twin moons crested the horizon, casting their silvery glow over the lake, Ella took a deep breath and waded into the cool water. The animals watched in hushed awe as ripples spread around her. With a final glance at her friends, Ella dipped beneath the surface, her trunk coiling protectively. The water grew darker as she sank, but a gentle hum began to pulse all around her, as if the lake was slowly remembering a song it had long forgotten. She swam deeper, her large legs moving with surprising grace, guided by the faint shimmer of something glowing below. Strange fish with glowing fins darted past her, and long strands of water grass whispered secrets as she moved by. Suddenly, the lake bed opened into an underwater cave, lit by flickering strands of blue and green light. At the center flowed a glowing stream, the heart-like current. But the current was weak, flickering like a candle in the wind. Ella stepped gently into the stream. A low tone vibrated through her chest, soft and ancient, as if the lake was trying to speak. She closed her eyes and listened. Within the hum, she heard voices, not with words, but with feelings. Memories of laughter, wishes whispered over lanterns, the joy of a child's first festival. The lake remembered, but it was tired, and it needed a new wish. Ella touched the glowing stream with her trunk. I wish, she thought gently, for the light to return, not just for the festival, but for every little one who needs hope, who needs dreams to light the way. The moment the thought formed in her heart, the heart-like current surged with a brilliant glow, golden and pure. The water around her shimmered, and from the cavern walls, ancient lantern spirits emerged, tiny lights with wings like dragonflies and eyes full of joy. They spiraled around Ella, giggling softly, and one by one zipped toward the surface. Back above the lake, the first lantern flickered, then another. Soon, a wave of warm, glowing light swept through the crowd. Gasps and laughter echoed across the shore. They are glowing, cried a young rabbit. The lanterns are waking. Modge's wise eyes twinkled. She's done it. Ella's heart lit the lake once more. Suddenly, Ella burst from the surface, glowing water cascading around her. The lantern spirits danced behind her in a trail of golden sparkles, and the entire lake glowed with renewed magic. The animals erupted in cheers. The festival began at once. Lanterns floated into the sky like golden stars. Music filled the air, and animals laughed, danced, and whispered their dreams to the twin moons. But something special happened that night. Animals gathered not just to celebrate, but to thank Ella. You reminded us what the festival is really about, said a young day. Not just the lights, but the love and hope behind them. Ella blushed, her big ears fluttering. The light was always here, she said. It just needed someone to believe in it again. As the night deepened, Luma Lake gleamed brighter than ever. Lanterns floated like soft fireflies overhead, each one a dream sent skyward. The animals sat around fires, sharing stories and warm berry treats, their faces glowing with joy. Ella stood near the lake's edge, watching a group of little ones carefully release their lanterns. Beside her, Modge nodded proudly. You've done something no one else could. Ella, the elder turtle said softly. You didn't just relight the lanterns. You rekindled something in all of us. Ella lowered her gaze, a shy smile curling her trunk. I only listened to what the lake needed and what the little ones hoped for. Just then, a small squirrel named Pip tugged on her leg. Ella, he whispered, can you help me with my wish? I'm too small to reach the water. Ella gently lifted him with her trunk. Pip held his lantern close and whispered his wish, I hope my sister's cough gets better soon. With the lightest touch, Ella helped him set the lantern afloat. The little flame glowed a soft pink and shimmered more brightly than the rest. Ella's eyes welled with warmth. As the festival neared its end, a quiet hush fell over the crowd. It was time for the last lantern, a tradition kept for the creature who had shown the greatest kindness during the year. To Ella's surprise, Moji cleared his throat and stepped forward. This year, he said, one among us has reminded the whole forest that even the gentlest heart can hold great power. Ella, would you do us the honor? Gasps and cheers followed. Me. Ella blinked. But I didn't. You lit the lake, Pip said. You believed when others doubted, added Luma the owl. You helped us feel the magic again, whispered Huntertail the badger. Ella's heart brimmed with emotion. She stepped forward, and a special lantern, shaped like a lotus flower, was presented to her. She placed it gently into the water. I wish, she said aloud, that no dream, no matter how small, is ever forgotten. The lantern began to spin, lifting from the water like a floating blossom, and rose high above them. As it reached the height of the twin moons, it burst into a cascade of golden sparks that rained gently down, shimmering like soft snowfall. The crowd was silent for a moment. Then a cheer erupted that echoed across the mountains. That night, long after the fires dimmed and the lanterns vanished into the stars, the animals of the forest slept soundly, their hearts warm and full. The tale of Ella and the Lanterns of Luma Lake would be told again and again, not as a tale of magic, but as a reminder that sometimes the quietest among us shine the brightest. And as for Ella, she didn't need trophies or praise. She simply returned to her favorite spot beneath the starlight, curled up in the grass, and listened to the lake sing its soft, thankful lullaby. The gentle elephant had found her place, not as a hero who chased adventure, but as a light for others when they needed it most. And in the heart of the forest, among lanterns and dreams, that light would never fade.